Somehow, at Silverstone, everyone feels good from the start. The British Grand Prix ends the first series in the championship event and draws enormous crowds. From the start, Hill piles into the lead, but is almost immediately taken by Clark. Jim Clark is now approaching his final lap, and all are willing him to the checkered flag. This is the moment shared by thousands and relished by the Ford and Lotus camp. The intoxication of a popular win. Above all, it's the moment for two men, Jim Clark and Colin Chapman.
Emerson Fittipaldi, hero of Brazil. In 1972, he became the first Brazilian to win the Formula One World Championship. And at that time, he was the youngest champion in the history of the sport. Getting that call from Colin Chapman was the big breakthrough, I'm sure. What was he actually like to be contracted to?
Colin had the intuition of getting a Grand Prix car right.
When he comes in next time, can we take half an inch out or a quarter inch?
At that time we didn't have so much electronics as we have now. It was different. Was what the driver was describing of the car. And then, like Friday night, I had a dinner with Colin after the first practice, and Colin asked Emerson describing what the car is doing on each corner. And then he would, typical Colin, he would put the two fingers here, start syncing, and then I could see on his eyes his intuition coming. He knew exactly what to change on the car. Next day, the car was very fast.
Emerson Fittipaldi wins!
1973, you had Ronnie Peterson as your teammate. He was a very good friend. Maybe not the ideal teammate because he was highly competitive, very quick as well, wasn't he?
Ronnie was an incredible fast driver, very good friend. We raced together against each other in Formula 2 many, many times, and we were family friends.
How much was this, though, the age of team orders? Did you sit down and, with Colin Chapman's help, sort of plan the season?
No, Colin, from day one, say, the championship is here, you guys go for. And I was leading the championship after Spain, but I had 4 wins, if I'm not wrong. And then nothing happened the right way. But going to Monza, to the Italian Grand Prix, I was the only one who had the chance to beat Jackie on the championship. And we had Monza, Canada, and then Watkins Glen. Only 3 Grand Prix left. Mathematically, I still could win the championship. And before the race, I go to Colin. I say, Colin, now we have to talk about team strategic because I can win the championship still. And Colin said, okay, if you guys are leading and Emerson is second, Ron is leading, I will give a sign and you know you exchange position and you still can win the championship. Fine. Start the race, it happened exactly what we expect. Ronnie was leading and I was right on Ronnie's gearbox the whole race and waiting, and nobody was close to us. And then I said, Colin is going to give the sign. 15 laps to go, no sign. 14 laps to go, no sign. 13 laps, we had no radio at that time. I could not complain on the radio, say, where's the sign? What's going on? And then when it was 10 laps to go, I said, I'm going to start attacking Ronnie. And we had incredible dice. I finished right on Ronnie's gearbox, the Italian Grand Prix, but I was mad. I was mad with Colin, and then I went to Colin and said, come on, Colin, I still could win the championship. At that time, I decided to leave Lotus.
In 1990, we felt we had to have a top-line driver, a Senna, a Prost, a Mansell, a Piquet, and my mother, who's a big Nigel Mansell fan, got wind from my father that given the commitment I assumed to his decision to retire, he was feeling it's not going to happen. So she spoke to a very dear friend of the company, Charlie Crichton Stewart. I believe under false pretenses they got Patrick Head across to Charlie's house for dinner. He was actually rallied upon to the extent that he called my father and said, I think we really have to make another effort with Nigel. And of course, he joined us for 1991 and we had 2 fantastic seasons together, and I think no driver over those 2 years won more Grand Prix than Nigel Mansell.
For Hingham to see a sort of little rundown industrial site on the corner of the village suddenly grow up.
I play golf with Heike, have a good laugh with him, beat him all the time. If you're watching this, Heike, you know that. He's just refusing to have another game now, so I'm just challenging him all the time and waiting when he turns up on the tee.
Get to Melbourne, get them there, sort their jet lag out and be ready and be first car out at first practice. That's the task.